What's up, y'all? Okay, so I decided to do my first video blog because of the things that happened to me today. There were too many things that happened for me to just type. I mean, I would be typing for days upon days, and I would have left out some details, and I wouldn't fully have been able to explain myself. And all I have to say before I tell you these stories is don't judge me. Alright, so let's get started. Today, me and Quanisha Hollingsworth, the other American on our team, went to test our athleticism. Our coaches wanted us to do this, not for any real purpose, just so they could see, what kind of players they had. So we go in there, me and Q were thinking, this is going to be pretty easy. We both consider ourselves pretty athletic young ladies. I mean, I don't know, that's just what I thought until this test. So we go in there. Let me tell you this. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not the best morning person in the world. I'm not the worst, but I'm not the best. But it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not making excuses, but we go in there, and the first test, they tell us they're going to test, our hand strength. I've never tested that before in America. It's not something that we do. So that caught me a little off guard, and they hand me this device. Something like this, and we're supposed to squeeze it as hard as we can. This device is metal, and so when I start squeezing it, it just hurts my hand, and I'm squeezing, and I don't want to squeeze any harder because my hand is hurting, so I stop. The lady looks at the little machine, and they're not good, not good. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll try again. She said, yeah, try with your left because you have to use your left also. So y'all know I'm not good with my left already, so I'm nervous already. So here we go. I get this great idea. Oh, let me wrap it up with my hoodie and then squeeze it. So I wrap my hoodie around it and squeeze it again. Still hurts. Still a terrible score. That's a fail. So the first test, chalk it up as a loss. The next test is, I don't know what this is supposed to test, but you're supposed to see how fast you can tap this pen onto this pad. I think you're supposed to have 15 seconds to tap as many times as you can. Well, I'm sitting there with a pen on the pad, and all of a sudden the lady's like, you not try? And I start tapping like, oh, I didn't know the clock started, and she's like, okay, stop. 5 seconds later. I mean, if I would have 15 seconds, I'm sure I could have got a better score, but with only 5 seconds, what can you do? Put that as another fail. So this is 2 tests already that I have just done terrible on. Meanwhile, let me backtrack. Q gets that little device and pretty much squeezes so hard she's about to break it. Hey, she's a power player. I'm a finesse player. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not making excuses. All right, the next test. I don't really have control over this test. It's pretty much to test your body fat and just your body composition type things. That test went pretty well for me. I have 20% body fat. It's went up since college, but I mean, what can you do? They were happy with that, so I was happy with that. Okay, so that's one test that, I'm good. All right, the next test is their version of a vertical test. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, here we go. They wrap this little thing around my waist, and then it's connected to a measuring tape. The measuring tape is also connected to this little thing on the ground. So I'm supposed to jump onto the mat and then jump in the air, and the slack pulled away will show how high I jumped, aka my vertical jump. And then by me jumping on the mat, it shows how fast I can jump. So pretty much you have to pick your poison. You're not going to be able to jump quick off the mat and jump high. Well, I mean, some people are. I can't. So I choose to do what I'm best at, be quick. So I jump quick and jump up. My vertical wasn't great. It was okay, but it wasn't bad. Q's vertical was amazing. She stood on the pad for about 10 minutes, it seemed like, to just get a great jump. She wanted to be, the leaper. I wanted to be quick. So that test, half and half. Did okay on the quickness, okay on the vertical jump. Moving on. The next test is supposed to measure my explosiveness. There's 3 steps that you have to hit. The 3rd step, the 6th step, and the 9th step. The 3rd and 9th step have markers on it that you're supposed to step on to those measure your timing or whatnot. So pretty much it measures how fast you can get from the third step to the ninth step. That test was great. I was running, I felt like an animal. I was just killing the steps, running, killing it. So I felt real good leaving that test like, yes, finally, like they might think there's a chance for me. All right, now we go to the last test. Let me remind you that it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I've been testing for about 45 minutes now. I did terrible. My pride is a little hurt. So I'm going to the last test like, I'm going to give it my all. I mean, I got one shot. I mean, I can get 55% overall. I mean, that's not bad. It's failing, but it's better than 50%. All right. So this test is to measure endurance. Why they chose to do this at the end, I do know why they chose to do it at the end, but man, all right. I'm sure you have an idea of where this is going to go. We have to ride a bike for 30 seconds. Now, I'm sure you're thinking, 30 seconds, that's not that long. Let me finish. 30 seconds on the bike with resistance. So the resistance depends on your body weight. So if I weigh, let's say 140, then maybe there's 60 pounds resistance. I don't really know the real ratio, but that's something how it goes. So I make sure that I understand the directions fully. She says I have to ride for 5 seconds to try to get speed. Then they're going to drop the weights. And then I got to ride for 30 seconds at maximum capacity, maximum effort, just maximum everything. So I'm like, bomb. We had cycling classes in Yukon. I'm like, I'm prepared. I can do this. Like, I'm ready. I'm getting right. I'm getting ready. So I get on there. I'm riding the first 5 seconds. Of course, there's no weight. So I'm just riding in the wind. Lance Armstrong, holla at me. So I'm riding. All right, she drops the weight. I'm like, okay, there's a little resistance, but I'm still going. I'm good. The first 5 seconds, I'm good. Like, gone. And they're cheering me on. Like, oh my goodness, she's about to break a record. First 10 seconds, still killing. 15 seconds, okay, there's a little drop off. I'm going a little slower, but still got some good speed. At the 20-second mark, I don't know what happened. I really don't. I mean, I hit a serious wall. 5 monkeys jumped on my back. I don't know what happened. I'm going. I'm just trying as hard as I can to pedal, and they're cheering me on so hard, and the whole time I'm thinking in my head, okay, that kid on the track that, he ran track just because he wanted to run track, and everybody's happy for him. He's the last one about to finish the race, and everybody just wants him to finish, so everybody's cheering him on real hard, like, yeah, congratulations, you finished the race, like, we're so proud of you. I was that kid. Yes, I was that kid, so I'm pushing the last 10 seconds. I felt like I was on the bike for an hour at that point. Those 10 seconds had to be the longest 10 seconds of my life. I'm pushing, I'm pedaling. I'm standing up trying to just make something happen. I think the bike wheel rotated 3 times in the last 10 seconds. Yes, I failed that test miserably. Crashed and burned. Q standing beside me, cracking up because I'm trying anything to make this pedal move. I was confused if they dropped another 50 pounds on the bike. I don't know what happened. I really don't. At the 20-second mark, it's like everything changed and my body just gave out. So my coach, he wasn't disappointed. I mean, he didn't try to show it, but I was. I failed the athleticism test. But like I said before, don't judge me.